Welcome, everybody. It's fun. It's you. It's us. It's from the Hill Podcast. I'm your man, Wild Wayne Cartwright. With me this evening, we got Mr. C.K. Williams, Miss J the Great, and Mr. T Goody T Gooden. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we?
Doing well, Wayne. How about yourself, brother?
Great.
Doing well.
It is great. It is great. It is great. All right. So a few pieces of housekeeping quickly, as we always do. Those that are joining us, those that are returning to us, thank you once again. Those that are joining us for the very first time, as you can see across the bottom of the screen, you can see all of the ways that you can follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at From the Hill Podcast. Also follow and like us on Facebook, also on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. Also, and we will remind you several times throughout this podcast tonight, please make sure that you hit that like button. Like early, like often. So make sure that you spread the word to all that will be joining us in the coming weeks, months, years. All right, so we've got a lot to get to tonight. We've got a very special guest for you tonight. So, Without further ado, let's get into the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our women, our Lady Bulldogs have gotten into the win column. They took their show up the road to Orangeburg, South Carolina to take on those other Bulldogs, South Carolina State. As you can see, we came away with a 16-point victory. So on the season, our Lady Bulldogs are 1-7. And hopefully that develops some good momentum headed into the SWAC play, ladies and gentlemen. And coming up tomorrow, they will be taking their show on the road up to Nashville to take on the Lady Commodores of Vanderbilt in Memorial Gymnasium. Game time is in the afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. You can catch this game on the SEC Network. Also, our men, they'll be back in action on Thursday in the same building, in the same city, taking on the men's version of Vanderbilt Commodores. In Memorial Gymnasium, game time is 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can catch this game on ESPN+. Now, Nashville, Huntsville, Tennessee, people in neighboring states. This is your opportunity to be in attendance. You got 2 opportunities to show up in Nashville, and we expect to see you and hear you on camera loud and proud. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our basketball recap. And we just want to let y'all know the star of the show is coming up next. And he is none other than our illustrious athletic director, Dr. Paul A. Bryant. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Hey. Welcome. Appreciate it.
Good Bulldog evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir, it is. Yes,
It's good seeing you all.
Hey, it is great. It is great that you have taken the time out of your very, very busy schedule to join us on this fine Tuesday evening in December.
Yes, sir. I just, before we start, there is one thing that we have to clear up first, and that is I am a diehard Cincinnati Bengals guy. So take off that Browns hat. Take off.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Man, we gonna fight, man. No, we ain't gonna fight.
Right there.
Hey, y'all beat us 2 weeks ago. Y'all 10-4, rolling to the playoffs. So hey, you got that one.
Yes, sir.
And we don't have a first round pick, so you know.
Right.
But yeah, I knew you was gonna poke that shot in at that Ohio love. So we got that going.
Absolutely.
So, Dr. Bryant, I know we've got a nice little agenda here of some questions that we're going to ask you, and also give you the opportunity to address Bulldog Nation. But before we get started with the questions, just briefly, just tell us how things are in athletics. You know, you haven't been with us that long, so just talk about how things have been in the first, 5 months of your tenure.
Yeah, I tell you what, it has been tremendous being here on the Hill, having the staffing that I have, being a part of a institution with such a rich history. And then not only that, but just being a part of the leadership team of Dr. Daniel K. Williams has been truly enlightening. And I am so excited to be here. I tell you, there are so many opportunities for us to continue to be great and to be excellent. And so therefore I am just blessed to be here on the Hill.
Well, all right. All right. Well, let's get on into the questions, shall we?
Yes, sir. Dr. Bryant, Teneri's good in Alabama A&M class of 2009.
Yes, sir.
I got the first set of questions for you. And we solicited these from the supporters of Bulldogs. These where these questions come from. Are there any plans for improvements to the baseball and softball complex, lights, bathrooms, facilities, concessions, seating, etc.?
All of the above. And I tell you, what we're doing, as we're taking an assessment of our entire athletics department, one being facilities. So we're talking about facilities. So we look at, to answer the first part of that question, baseball, softball. We know that their playing surfaces is subpar, and we have to bring it up to where, we're proud to bring recruits in. They can see some change. So we're looking at turfing both fields. We're looking at putting in a building dead center that will overlook both, that will encompass some locker rooms, concession areas, some coaches' offices, so that whole piece. Now, we already have an iteration of it, but before we can put it out, we really need to vet it a little bit and really go through how we want to do it. And of course, the lights are going to be there. So we look at the baseball, softball, but it's no different than our soccer field. Our soccer field is subpar as well. And our, they do not have lights. And so we're looking at changing some things there. I've talked to our soccer young ladies. Some of them want turf, some of them want regular grass. But the one consistent thing that we're going to put around our athletic facilities are lights. On our tennis courts, we just resurfaced those courts and made them look real nice, but there are no lights. And so one of the reasons we need lights is because our student athletes are missing a lot of classes. They have to play before dark. So we are going to be able to put some lights in all of our facilities. That's going to really change that game a little bit and allow us to play in the evening and have less missed class. Also, our football stadium. We're going to returf it this year. If you've been on our turf, the turf is pretty worn down. And so we're going to now the colors and things are going to change. I'm looking at alternating green colors. I've done that at a couple of institutions that I've been, and it turned out to be pretty well. We are putting, we're in the South, so you put in that rubber. It burns the young men and young ladies who actually come out there. It burns their shoes and burns their skin. So we're going to do something different. We're adding the coconut husk, which is once you wet it, it cools at about 40 degrees, and it's a state of the art type filament that we're going to use. And so you're looking at that, and then we're looking at adding some changing our football practice field. And changing how that looks turfed. And that's a project that we're trying, but we have to raise the funds to do that. But it's going to be a very nice athletic complex. And as we speak today, our football locker room is being repainted. We're putting new flooring. We're looking at new lockers. We have to change how we've done. We haven't had change in so long, and now's the time. As you all know, all these young men and young women are looking for facilities. And so we have to do better at what we're doing. So that was one of my initial assessments coming in the door. How can we change our facilities? And those are some of the things that we're doing. Yes, we would like to show everyone, but until we get board approval, then I can't put it up, show it, and do that sort of thing. But my goal is to present something in February at a board meeting that is going to highlight all of our facilities. That's going to make Alabama A&M one to be reckoned with. I promise you, it's going to be much different and much better than anyone in the SWAC.
Great, Dr. Bryant. You answered my next two questions. In that, so I have no reason to ask those at all. But my next question is going to be about can you provide information on the football facilities, and you answered that as well. And my next one may be something that you can explain. Is there any consideration to placing the capital strategic plan for athletic facilities that can be shared on the athletic website? Now, you kind of hinted at with saying you had to speak with the board about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I want everyone to see, but I want everyone to be involved as I plan it, because as we plan, then once you're involved, then you have a vested interest in what we're doing. And so I am going to have a couple of town halls to really talk about the plan before I present it, so that we can all have some input. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know everyone is going to have particular things and I'm not going to be able to satisfy all of those. However, we're going to get the input so that we can make sure that we're doing the right thing. And I've done that everywhere I've gone, and I plan on continually to do that. But it's I tell you, it's going to be really, really nice. Really nice.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Look at that. Oh, that's funny. All right. Yeah, just had to put that one up there. Go ahead. Just being funny. Go ahead.
You're on mute, Jay.
You're on mute,
Jay
the Great. Jay the Great, you're on mute.
I see it now. I'm just going. How you doing, Dr. Bryant? I'm Jennifer Murray, class of 2008. I'm so happy to, that you're here with us on this show.
I'm glad.
Do have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
What are some of the new marketing strategy updates that you can provide?
Okay. Well, one of the things that I can provide is if you've looked at our website, you can see a very not attentive website. We haven't really paid attention to what our front porch of athletics, which is our website. And so one of the things that I've done, I'm bringing in someone who's pretty versed at working on websites and doing some marketing. We're going to start. I don't know if you've seen, but I'm going to make sure my team gets it out. We started this thing called the Bulldog Bark, and the Bulldog Bark is really I'm going to say a digital newsletter that we're talking about what we've done and what we're going to do. And so particularly with our sports. And so we have that out right now. It's on all of our social medias, but the marketing piece is critical for our success. One of the things we have to do, we have to brand ourselves, right? And so we have this brand, everyone sees the interlocking letters, and then we changed our Bulldog a little. And so one of the things, everything we do, we have to have these, our brand everywhere. In our Elmore, if you've been in Elmore, the walls are blank. There's nothing on the wall. I mean, it just looks bare. In the gym, we've covered up the championship photos and all that. So we're going to do a better job at showing who we are and branding who we are. Now, if you've gone into the event center lately, you start to see some branding on the walls. That's what you're going to see throughout our athletic complex. Elmore, once you get over to the stadium, we have those yellow gates going up around the field, and there's nothing on them. There's no advertising. Those are opportunities for marketing and getting dollars. And so we're going to do more things like that. I get excited. I really do when I talk about putting up the history of A&M. And on our walls and in our locker rooms. And if you've gone upstairs in Elmore, we have a new academic center. There is nothing on the walls. There are nothing. We're going to change that so people can start appreciating who we have been and where we're going. And so those are some of the marketing strategies that we're going to do. We have spoken with several corporate entities in the city to actually just buy us. I said in my initial press conference. If I'm going to do business with you, you got to do business with us. And what I meant was, if I'm paying you some dollars, what are you giving back to the institution? And so are you giving us some internships? Are you giving us scholarship dollars? Are you sponsoring tickets? Are you buying season tickets? And those are some of the marketing things that I would say that we're doing. And I know that was a long answer, but I get excited about marketing, and I get excited about really being able to tell our story the way it should be told.
Awesome. You kind of got into a little of my second question, but I will ask, are there any partnerships with big name companies in Huntsville? Mm-hmm. Say they sponsor events on campus at the new arena and we get more traffic and people are interested in being on campus.
Yes. So one of the things I'm doing, Joel Lamp, who's from the city, he's from the sports commission. And so what I've done, we've bidded on hosting the Alabama Community College championships, basketball championships, and we got it. So we're hosting those type of things. So when we talk about connecting with the city, the mayor has really been involved with the president and some of the things that we're trying to do. We're going out. I have an alum who brought over a general from Redstone that we're trying to break into those areas and say, hey, come back and support us. Support us. Again, it could be as simple as buying season tickets and have the whole company buy 100 season tickets, then they can give to their company, because we know if we start getting these companies in, then it's just going to help us holistically. We're the only show in town in football. We're the only show. So we need to magnify that. And that's something we're doing. However, I have to get my team together, and my team will be in January. And we're going to truly push more on the corporate side than we've had in the past.
Awesome. And I heard you mention the mayor. So what is being done to pull in the city of Huntsville to support A&M and attend more campus events? Yes. Are we doing anything to create a pipeline like the local high schools?
Yes. So I'm proud to say, so the local high school, I've been in contact with the athletic director. Crazy part, he's from Dayton, Ohio too. And so he and I have a shared bond there. And I've been saying, hey, come on over. We're doing more high school days so that the kids can come and see what we have. And we give tickets at a reduced rate. We have to be careful that we offer the school and not individuals, because then it becomes, you're in a compliance issue. But for the most part, we're connecting with all the schools and saying, come on over to Alabama A&M. You can get in, and we know once you get here, we know we're gonna keep you. and then that turns into dollars too, because then they end up buying concessions, and then we're going to have our bookstore there. And so we're going to make sure that we are inviting everybody, particularly our local schools, school districts, to our games.
Awesome. My final question. Texas, Alabama, and Michigan led the nation in apparel sales in 2021. Mm-hmm. They sell jerseys. Are we going to capitalize on this and start selling football, basketball, softball, and baseball jerseys?
Yes. And trust me, I want to do that today. And I will tell you, we have a trailer that's in the back of our building that is filled with exactly what you just said. And what I'm doing, we're trying to get everything together. So we're going to make a plea to all of our former athletes and say, hey, would you like your jersey? And start getting them to look at your jersey is here. And we're going to sell those. We have connected with Follett, our bookstore, just to talk about some other items that they can sell other than some of the things that they do. But we want them to be more athletic friendly, right? And so we are encouraging them to come and be at our events. But soon you're going to see all the jerseys for sale of our past. We haven't gotten the opportunity to sell our current jerseys, a replica of our current jerseys yet. That's going to take a little time, but we are going to look at doing that as well.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right, welcome. Good evening, Dr. Bryant.
What's going on, sir?
Hey, I'm Corey K. Williams, class of 2000.
Front row seat. I know you.
Yeah. Hey,
I
let me
told
tell
y'all
you,
Corey
hey,
was a baller, man. I told y'all.
no, Nation is glad to have you, Dr. Bryant.
Yes.
We've been very impressed, and we thank you for everything that you're doing for Bulldog Nation.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes.
in the media, you've seen different things as far as about different schools. Are there any plans to add names on the back of our jerseys as far as with our athletic programs?
Yeah, it is. And that's a coach's preference. So one of the things that I do, I don't like to get involved with the head coaches and their programs and making those getting in the weeds, I would say. And that's really a coach's decision. However, that is something that I will support. If our coaches want to put names on the jerseys, that's fine. There is a cost to that. For example, football jerseys, they're to replace their jersey itself is about $150, right? And that's give or take a few dollars. But then I have to make sure that the manufacturer will then give me another jersey. I know we could do if we just put the names on, stitch the names on, that's the way to go. However, that's the way we could go. The way I think we should go is to make it a panel where you can take off. But again, we're talking, jerseys, 150 a piece times 110. So it can be an expense, but I will support our coaches if that's what they want in every sport. So, and I think that's, it is important. It truly is. It's important.
Correct. And that's where alumni, the giving goes to, and as well as, like we said, we're for the people. So everything that we're asking you, these are questions that's been brought to our attention. So
absolutely. And I appreciate those.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. Another question, mental health has been a big topic lately for a while. Tell me about some of the mental health services that's being provided for the players and students at Alabama A&M to make sure that they're mentally well to perform on and off the field.
I can't agree with that question more. That is, mental health is a vital piece to our success. We have to address the mental health. And one of the things that we've contracted with the Zone. And so it has provided all of our student athletes, including our staff, an opportunity, an avenue to go and talk about the issues that you may have. I have taken advantage of it. I encourage all of my staff to take advantage, but more importantly, our students. They deal with so much. And I think it is so important that we pay attention to some of the trigger points. And I think the mental health piece is something that we will always put in place. And I'm going to digress a little bit, but when you look back since COVID, we talked about it before, but now since COVID, and then we took all the athletics away and just how people reacted, I think now they see that it's truly something that we have to keep at the forefront of all of our athletics programs. So we have, like I said, contracted with the Zone, and they provide mental health services to our students and our staff.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's great to hear. Dr. Bryant,
yes,
what is required to increase the number of scholarships available to support programs such as cross country and track?
Money. so you know what? It's interesting. I'm going to read something to you all, and this is going to be eye-opening, because one of the things that we do, we want all of our students, athletes, and all of our teams to be successful. But I want to tell you exactly where we are as an athletic department that I don't know that a lot of people know exactly. And I'm going to run down this list, and I want you to really pay attention to where we are as an athletic department. And I'm going to hit every sport. And I'm going to give you the NCAA maximums, and then I'm going to give you ours. Okay. In football, their max is 63 scholarships. We have 59. In men's basketball, max is 13. we have 9.5. In track, 12.6, we have 3.9. In tennis, 4.5, we have 1.5. In baseball, 11.7 is the max, we have 5.9. In golf, 4.5 is the max, we have 1.1. In women's basketball, 15, we have 10. Volleyball is 12, we have 7.1. Softball is 12, we have 6.1. In track, 18, we have 7.1. In soccer, 14, we have 5.7. Bowling, 5, we have 1.7. And in tennis, 8, and we have 3.5. And I tell you that because when we talk about competing and where we are, we have to compete. On that first number that I gave, most schools have that, and we're not quite there. However, we're doing the best that we can. I understand that, but we have to do better. So in February, and I'm giving you a prelude, but in February, this is what I'm going to be talking about to the board. You know, when we say we want to compete, we want to be champions. Well, do we have the resources to do that? And, you know, again, I have to applaud our teams at where they are doing what they can. Like now, we have a national champion in women's tennis, a national champion, HBCU national champion. And so she's doing it in spite of what we have. And that's what we've been doing. But I'm glad you asked that question, because one of the things I wanted to do is really share where we could be, but where we are. And so, and of course, I jokingly said at the beginning is money, and in reality it is. And that's what we have to do. And so when I make my plea, that's what I'm saying. We have to increase these things.
Yes, sir. That's eye-opening, and I appreciate you being transparent. And you know, as alumni and as supporters,
Yes,
you know, we're willing to help any way we can. But I appreciate the transparency.
Yes, sir.
On another question, as far as donations, is there a direct link to support programs such as track and field, cross country, and some of those non-revenue generating sports?
Yeah, it is. But I tell you, it's hard to get to. We've been fighting through this because you can click on give, and then you have to click and then click and then click a couple times to get there. So we're addressing that on our website, but it's multiple clicks to get there.
Correct.
We're trying to make it just a simple QR code, or jump on the website and you can click Athletic Give, and then you can drop down to the teams. We're not there yet, but we are getting there. But I do recognize that it's multiple clicks to get there. And then a lot of people will say, heck, that's too much. I just want to give. And so, and that becomes a turnoff. So one of the things we're trying to fix that. So.
Well, that's awesome. And that's what we're here for. We're here to support you.
Yes, sir.
And in your efforts, we're here to support you, and we're here for the people. So I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So, last question on my end concerning compliance and the transfer portal. Are we able to ensure many athletes are compliant before they start the sporting season on the hill? Because in the past, you know, we've been known to sign players, but then in different sports, and they never touch the field. So could you enlighten us on anything that we're doing as far as, with compliance?
Yeah, I've heard that. And so one of the things that I told my compliance director, Mr. Dwayne Robinson, that, and our coaches, when we recruit, there's a checklist that we go by, and that's to make sure that they're eligible and ready to play. Now, some kids may come in and sit out a year. I get that. But the kids that we really want are the ones that are eligible. And so there is a checklist that we utilize for each coach, and then for compliance and academic folk to say, okay, here's where we are. Here's what this young man or young lady may need to become eligible. And if they do not have that, then we're not going to sign them to the scholarship that and I put quotations because a lot of times the kids will come and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm signing with A&M." Yeah, they sign with the school, but not with athletics. If that
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah,
It does. It does make sense.
okay.
Is there anything that the Alumni Association can do to assist?
Yes. First, give, but more importantly, recruit. Help us recruit. You know, we may not be able to get to the great state of Ohio. I mean, in Dayton area, anyway. To recruit, but we have an alumni association there, right? So let's reach out, and then so alums, you know that we have that you have some solid student athletes up there. Give them to the coaches, give them to our recruiting coordinators, because that's what helps us. We may not be able to get out there, but we know that there are some quality ones there. And so we ask the alums to give back. You know, you can reach out to each coach we have the directory on our website for every sport, and just let us know that there are student athletes there that are looking to come to Alabama A&M and be a part of an excellent program.
Awesome, Dr. Bryant. Thank you. Those are my questions.
Yes,
And actually, a small tidbit. I went to grad school at University of Cincinnati, so I'm
my man. Yes, you're a Buckeye. I mean, anybody South, you know,
I'm not a Buckeye.
but hey, no, you went to Cincinnati. You're a Cincinnati man. You're a part of the Buckeye State. Just that we don't really count the top, you know.
Oh man. All right. So in time for me to start taking over this part. Okay, so I got a couple quick ones that are here in the comments. I did want to do that. Here's one right here. This was a quick one because this one came up.
Yes. You know what? We are talking, and you know what? That's a great question. We just talked about that last week at our SWAC meeting.
All right, so
there's going to be a different vibe coming soon.
So we know more to come on this one.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then I got this one.
Oh, the tailgate. That's first of all, that's from Miss Clarine. That's my boss. Let me say that she's my boss.
I know. That's why I had to click it.
And so the new tailgate plaza, we're excited about it. We're looking to pave that tailgate area, put better lighting out there. When I talk about lights earlier, all the lights that is included. I'm sorry, I omitted that, but we're looking at putting plugs, outlets for RVs, and a water outlets for them, so that it'll be a more premier type of tailgate area. That plaza is going to be nice. We're looking at I see a lot of tents, and they're different colors. We're looking at making it all A&M colored tents throughout. That's again, if you look out there from a sky eagle's eye view and having all of A&M, it just looks good. And so we're looking at the tents that you bring. We're gonna have some things in there, and I know that's gonna cause some angst from a lot, but we want to be consistent and make it nice. But adding the outlets for the RVs and water ports, I think that's going to make it premier. Now, with that, the price goes up.
The price goes up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Another question here. Is it possible to monetize the AAMU YouTube and social media pages? That money could go to support all sports teams.
Yes.
We just have to get people to interact with the pages.
You know what? That's another great question. Yes, to answer it, yes. I'm bringing in a team of folks that will look at that area because we do need to monetize everything we're doing. And we want to be verified. And we don't want to pay to be verified. We want to be verified,
right,
in all of our social medias, which helps tremendously with those dollars. So yes. And it's me, Bryant. Thank you for that question.
Hey, real quick one. I just want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Bryant. He's very responsive on Twitter. He's on Instagram. He's sharing stuff. So hey, he's very, very tech savvy with this stuff, man. He's not just talking. If I anytime I hit him up on Twitter with any question, he'll either say, I don't know, I'll look into it. Like it's never just read and left there. So I really do appreciate that. We're not used to that.
Oh, well, no problem. You know what? That's one of the things we have to stay connected. And I believe in, if I'm going to ask you all to do something, I need to be a part of you. And I'm a Bulldog. And that's the bottom line. No, I didn't go to A&M, but I'm a Bulldog since I'm here. And we're going to do, I need you all. Bottom line, I need you all to be successful.
Amen to that. So now into the last part of the questions that I have. This is what we characterize under the miscellaneous. Okay. So how will the athletic department improve communication with members of the Hall of Fame so they might be better to serve the university?
You know, again, another great observation and question. As I understand it, we haven't been engaged with our Hall of Fame in several years. Now, we just created the Hall of Fame in the event center, but I'm getting a team of folk who are on the Hall of Fame committee to talk about our next Hall of Fame, and then to talk about how we're going to get those student athletes, former student athletes involved. If you look at our Hall of Fame page, and this is where we have to do a better job. If you look at our Hall of Fame page on our athletic website and click on a particular person, there is when you click on that person, you don't know what sport they played. You don't know what year they came out. You don't know any of their highlights. And that is something that we have to start galvanizing and get in if I were to, I'm going to have someone just designated for that, because none of the information is there. I don't understand why. However, I do know, I'm not going to talk about why it hasn't, and we will fix it. And we will have our students. I have a set of interns that is their project, to really dive into our Hall of Fame so that we can make it up to par. That is, what's the benefit? What's the benefit other than having your name on the website? We will do better. That's all I will say. We will do better. That is an area that is very, very, very important, along with the Lewis Cruz Classic. Again, we had the Lewis Cruz Classic, and it was just another game. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand. So again, when I'm hearing Classic, I'm like, okay, what are all the events? Was nothing. And it was just a game. But to that point is who we play, So just be transparent. Every Lewis Cruz, we will play an HBCU.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. We all heard.
Well, that's a fact.
Thank you.
Well, I got a small add on to that last question. Just something that came to my mind because of I was a former athlete. Okay. So I know a lot of times we've had some former athletes on this show. We're gonna have more on this show. A lot of times we've heard from them when they say that that they feel left out, that they don't, that the university hasn't honored them in the past. Like, for example, I was at homecoming, I think it was 2016.
Okay.
And they had the 2006 SWAC championship football team. They were there. They shouted them out while they were sitting in the stands. They didn't welcome on the field, didn't do anything. So, I don't expect you to say you got a plan for it or anything like that, but I just wanted to make mention that that there's a lot of former athletes out there who they've had some resentment to past regimes.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, honestly, those are the low hanging fruit. And I'm only saying this, that's the easy part, really, to do that. It's okay. I think we're coming up on the 30-year anniversary of our women's basketball championship team, I believe. I think. And so those are the things that we will highlight, bring them on the court, bring them on the field. Those are the things that are easy to do and we can do. But I will need your assistance because, again, I'm new and I don't know all of the history of all our championship, our student athletes. But I think when we did it, when we closed out Elmore and we highlighted each decade of men's basketball, women's basketball, and volleyball. I thought that went over well, but we need to do a better job. And I will say that, and that is part of the things that we plan on doing.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
All right. Another important question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you touch on the athletic department's plans for NIL, name, image, and likeness? Or if there has been any discussion around starting a name, image, and likeness collective?
Absolutely. We signed, we had one this year signed. He was a men's basketball player, name, image, and likeness. But what we're doing, we're looking at several companies. There's probably 3 or 4 that have contacted me to really talk about them having opportunities for the NIL for the student athletes. And so we are working with the company. We will be working with the company to do more of NILs, because we have some outstanding student athletes. For instance, we have 2 young ladies on our women's basketball team that have over 50,000 Instagram followers. And so how do we help them monetize that? And so we're bringing in, I have a friend who owns a company, but I'm been asking him to do it for free, but we want to make sure that they get the opportunity, they get to know what's out there. And that's what we are doing right now.
All right. Got 2 more questions, and they're kind of similar. What incentives will be added to season ticket packages to entice more alumni to purchase them? Most of them buy tailgate spots and never come in the game because they spent more money for the tailgate area.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're doing, we're looking at, well, I'm not saying we're going to absolutely do it, but here's an option. So at another institution, when you buy your tailgate, ticket is also included, right? Because what's happening is exactly that. They're buying tailgates and not tickets. So then the tailgate, for instance, y'all don't hold me to this, but I'm saying this could be a possibility. Let's say you only want to buy a tailgate spot. Well, you can't. You have to buy a season ticket buy a season ticket to have the opportunity to buy a tailgate. We have to do something different than what we've done in the past. No, it's not going to be popular. I get it. No, it's not. But we have more people in the parking lot than we do in the game. Now, it could still be that way, but then we could monetize those season tickets. We could increase our season tickets. And again, I know that's not popular. I get it. But what we've been doing is not working for us. So we have to think differently. And I'm going to encourage everyone. This is when I'm going to come to my alumni presidents and everyone. Let's talk about this model, and let's create this model where we can benefit more by doing something different.
That's awesome. And then
love it.
My last question. This one is a little near and dear to a lot of hearts. Especially my wife, who came to 2019 homecoming, and it was 96 degrees and they ran out of water at the concession. So here's the question for everybody out there that has asked this question 1,000,000 times over. Are there any football game day operations improvements on the horizon? For example, concessions, ticket entry, parking, etc., etc.
I would say absolutely yes.
And food trucks.
Season ticket, or just buying tickets. So typically, like if you attended the game this past weekend at the Celebration Bowl, there were no hard tickets. You had to it was all digital. Now, we're going to get there. However, we're working with this group called Hometown Ticketing, where all our tickets are going to be digital. But I know we have an older population that needs hard tickets, and they will be able to print those tickets as well. But we're going to slowly move that to digital. I'm not going to do it all at once. I can tell you, if everyone is saying we got to do it, I'm going to just tell you I'm going to balk at that, because we have to. It's a transition, and that's what we're going to do. Now, the concessions, we are talking with Aramark, because now what I'm used to is, okay, we have concessions, but then we have multiple options like food trucks and things like that. We're working with them to be able to do that. It's not finalized at all, but that is a plan that we're trying to do. Because no one should run out of water. We know how many fans come to our homecoming games. We know that that's packed, and you should never run out of food or water. And so we are going to push for a different level of responsibility from Aramark as well. And all the food, if we get the food trucks, if we get that approved, then I'm going to tell you the experience will be totally different. Our parking, we have the event center parking that we're able to do. I know we're going to try to increase the handicap parking. The problem is it's first come, first serve. We have 38 spots, or it may have been 40 spots now, but it was first come, first serve. And we have over 100 people that have the handicap tags that don't have those spots. So we're trying to use the shuttle a little bit, but we will do better. There's a lot of things that we can do better. And I've been working with our Chief Payton, to really iron out the ins and outs of how we can enter, exit without long lines and that sort of thing. And I know we're going to have lines. That's just the nature of the beast when you're dealing with 30,000 folks, but we are going to try to minimize it as best as we can.
That's cool. I've got a couple questions here in the chat, but everybody out there, hit that like button for us. We need everybody hitting that like button. All right. Athletic advisement. A lot of students struggle with trust advisement from athletics because it commonly conflicts with academic advisors. Is there a plan for this?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up, Ty, because one of the things that we've done, our academic enhancement area we were understaffed. We're going to have 5 academic advisors where they are able to advise our student athletes and put them in classes that will definitely help them matriculate in a timely manner, but then also look at our practice schedules. So, and remember, once we add lights, it can really affect a lot of our student athletes when it comes to advising, because now they're not missing all those classes during the day where there's a lot of issues. So we are going to, I've been working with Dr. Jones, who is our provost, to work how we can make this a seamless process. And honestly, that's an area of that we need to fix.
All right. Another one from Ty. Are you interested in doing private town hall meetings with the athletic team captains of each sport, so you make sure that you always have a safe, prospective relationship with them?
Yes. So one of the things that I was very disappointed in this semester, when I came in, I asked about our SAC, our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. And those are typically our leaders from each sport. So there's 2 from each sport on the SAC. They met one time, and I did not meet with any of the SAC other than our president. And I met with her one time. And that is an area of concern because I started in, mid-September, and they had not even formed the SAC. So to answer your question, absolutely. The SAC representatives, whether it's the president, the vice president, or part of their administrative team, always are at my staff meetings and always meet with me once a week. And that did not occur. So I take full responsibility for that because it did not happen, but it will happen moving forward because I have someone coming in to make sure that does.
All right. Now, this next question, this has been asked 3 times here in the chat.
Okay.
More night games for football. Said, can we bring these back? It says too hot. It's at 3 and 4 p.m.
Facts. I tell you, I like the night games too because it is hot, and we're looking at all these, and there are certain things that play a factor. TV dictates what time we play. And to be honest, I'm trying to get all of our games on TV. So we are trying to make sure that we do have some night games because it is hot. But I tell you, for the players moving forward, they won't feel it on that field. I can promise you that.
That's awesome.
It'll just be hot on us as a fan, but as those players, it won't feel it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, this is I promise this will be the last one.
Oh, you're good.
Because this is a good one. So what will the AD do to improve the spring game experience because it's non-existent?
Well, you know what? This year, it still may be non-existent. And I will tell you why. Because we're trying to get a new turf. And so it may run into that. And literally, the president and coach and I were just talking this weekend about, we were talking about doing car shows and doing a lot over the spring game. Then it's like, we're getting the new turf during that time. So stay tuned. The only thing I would say is stay tuned, because at this point, we're getting this new turf and revamping some things that's going to run into the spring game time. But if it's non-existence in 2023, it will not be non-existent in 2024. And the only reason why it will be non-existent is because we're getting a new field.
Yes,
you,
and
now I appreciate that honesty. I really do.
Yeah.
At least you're being honest.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And one thing I'll be remiss to say before I show you some of the comments that people have been giving you your flowers. One of the things that we want to do as we get into January and February with the show is we want to have some of our current athletes and our coaches on.
Yes, sir.
So we know that we know that SID is something that's in the process. All right. So we just want to make sure that that we're not crossing any lines, but we do want to have the opportunity to have these current athletes and coaches, come on and tell their stories and just help Bulldog Nation get to know who they are and develop a relationship with them.
Okay. Yes. And I would encourage that. We have some outstanding student athletes, and we also have some outstanding coaches. And I would appreciate you giving them the opportunity to voice who they are and what they're all about.
Absolutely. Now, here's your flowers. I respect this AD. He gets my approval.
My man. Thank you, Carlos.
Dr. Bryant knows how to keep it real.
Demetria, yes. That's the only way to be.
It's me, Brand. We love you, Brand. You're on every week. The transparency is highly appreciated.
Yes. Thank you.
Then the aforementioned Ty, another loyal follower. I love that he is honest.
Thank you, Ty.
So those are some of the comments from the people. So now this is the very last part of our segment with you. Mm-hmm. And this is the time where the four of us, we're going to exit stage and you're going to be on camera. And this is your time where you can say whatever you want to say to address Bulldog Nation.
Okay.
And just say when you're done, just say, I'm good. And we will come back.
Okay, great. All right. Well, Bulldog Nation, my plea to you is to first buy season tickets. Buy season tickets. I give you an example. We have almost a 6,000 seat arena in the event center, and we've only sold 320 tickets, season tickets. They are reasonable priced, and I think if you really want to support, first buy some season tickets, purchase the season tickets, and if you don't come, give it to someone else. But we need you to buy season tickets. Give a consistent gift to the Athletic Foundation. There's a group. Part of the Lewis Cruz group, they have formed this pact to give every month, and they're giving between $20 to $500 a month to the Athletic Foundation to assist athletics. I read what our scholarships were and where we could be, but where we are, that will help bridge that gap. So give consistent to the foundation. Come out and support. Come out and support every team. I see a lot of people at the football games, basketball games, but we need that same support in all of our sports, from baseball, softball, bowling, tennis, golf, track, soccer, we need your support. We need you to come out and support our student athletes, because all of our student athletes are working hard, just like the other sports. Let's change the narrative. You know, they talk about our fans. They say there's a video out talking about how our fans don't cheer. Come out and support and cheer on the team in any sport that we play. Make sure you're coming out and cheering, because we need to change that narrative. It's interesting. We have a fan engagement young man that is actually trying to get the fans involved. We're creating this dog pound that is going to be rowdy. We had trials, and we're excited about that for basketball and then on into our other sports. But we need you, alums. We need you to come out and cheer and be just let loose. This is the several hours where you can just absolutely let loose and show your support for our athletics program. But more importantly, we need you to help us get to 6,500 students next year. Our institution wants to grow, but we need you to do it. You know that there are students out there that you know would like to attend a HBCU or attend college. Send them to Alabama A&M. They will get a great experience, and we know that you can help us get to 6,500 next year. I know we want to go beyond that, but let's shoot for 6,500 students in our institution next year. And more importantly, go Bulldogs. I'm good.
Man, I'm so outdone. I don't even look. This is your best comment of the night from my boy CJ. This man got me ready to suit up.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, Dr. Bryant, oh man, this has been awesome. And when I first met you at the ribbon cutting ceremony,
yes, sir.
I do mean this. This show owes you a ton of gratitude, and we want to continue to be an extension of your department.
Yes,
so
sir.
anytime, Dr. Bryant, that you have a message or you have a plea, anytime you want to join us, you just let us know, and we will clear the decks to make sure that you have your time, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I tell you, I thank you all. You all are the best. And you know what? You're part of the Bulldog Nation, and that's what it's all about. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Panel, any final words for Dr. Bryant before he departs this evening?
I just appreciate you coming on, man. Like Wayne said, I know he sent you the email. We sent you the email that morning, and then you replied back like immediately. You say, hey, I can't do it that day, but I can do it today. And like, why, Wayne, he already replied. And then we were just so excited, you know. So we appreciate it, man. We really do. I know I do. And I can speak for them as well. I'm sure everybody's just as appreciative as me. And buy those season tickets, man. I didn't know we were that low at $325. So we really need to get those season tickets up.
Yes. Please do.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for just, being so accessible. That is huge. Your transparency, your accessibility, it means a lot. So we got you. We got your back.
Yes, sir.
We're 10 toes down.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Jay the Great. I like that.
Corey, final words for Dr. Bryant.
Well, Dr. Bryant, on behalf of myself and From the Hill podcast, we wanted to say thank you for all you do. Yes. And any fundraising efforts, anything we can help drive, and because hey, we want the best for Alabama A&M, and so we just want to say thank you.
All right, thank you. And if you all need to reach me, you can reach me at send an email to my assistant. Her name is Crystal.Williams. It's KRISTOL.Williams@aamu.edu. And I tell you, I will respond. I believe in communication, open communication.
Amen to that. Well, Dr. Bryant, thank you so much. We best to you, and happy holidays to you and your family. And we definitely will be talking.
Yes, great. Happy holidays to Bulldog Nation, and go Bulldogs.
Amen.
Sir, thank you so much, sir.
Off he goes, Dr. Bryant. What an awesome show we just had here, y'all. So just catching
Good
everybody up. So you guys, I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to go back and they're going to watch this recording. You should, because there's a lot that's been said, a lot to capture. And while you do that, if you have not already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this podcast and this channel on YouTube. And also, while you're at it, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and also on Twitter. And so as we get ready to close on this show this evening, this is our final show of 2022. Our next show we're coming back will be on Tuesday night, January the 10th. On January the 10th, we will be rolling out the promos here soon, but we can give you a little bit of, should we give them a little bit of teaser what we got on January 10th?
You can tell them a little something.
Just a little.
Those that like the marching maroon and white, the marching maroon and white, that episode is coming up on January 10th at our typical time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. For those of you out there that have joined us, those of you that will see this, we want everybody to have a very safe and very prosperous, very enjoyable New Year. Merry Christmas. Those that are traveling, make sure that you travel safely and arrive alive. C.K. Williams, Jay the Great, T. Gooden, D.T. Green, David Thomas, our whole From the Hill podcast team greatly thanks everybody. So, I'm your man, Wild Wayne Cartwright. God bless everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and good night.